Welcome to She Plants a Vineyard podcast. I'm your host, Santana Withrow, and this is presented by the Affinity Films. This is officially Season 2, Episode 1 of She Plants a Vineyard, and I'm super excited for this new season because the format's going to be a little bit different. And first up, we have some announcements. So March is Women's History Month, and we've been celebrating that by posting women's basketball history. And it's been kind of fun. I've only done 2 so far, but we are going to have more coming from that. We're trying to do 1 a week. So far it's worked out. Second announcement that I have is our March bracket challenge. You can win $200 cash. Basically, you pick all 63 games of the NCAA Women's Tournament. The pick deadline is set to March 20th, 2025 at 12:15 p.m. Eastern. And each participant is limited to only 1 entry in the contest. Just makes it a little bit more simple for me. Points are awarded for each correct pick. Points values increase as the tournament progresses. First round equals 1 point. Second round equals 2 points. The Sweet 16 equals 4 points. Regional final equals 8 points. National semifinal, the last 4 games, equals 16 points. And the championship is worth 32 points. The winner is the entry with the most points at the end of the NCAA Women's Tournament. Winner will be announced Sunday, April 6th at the Affinity Films Open House. Link will be in the Instagram bio. But speaking of the open house, that is our next announcement. The Affinity Films Open House is Sunday, April 6th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern at 318 Market Street, Spencer, West Virginia. We're going to be doing a NCAA Women's Championship viewing where the winner will be announced on that day. We're going to have food, drinks, maybe some games. I haven't figured that part out quite yet. And hopefully raising some money for local girls' sports. I'm hoping to maybe get in contact with Spencer High School or maybe their middle school and try to raise some money for some of the local girls' sports that are happening right now. And that's basically it. That is the open house. I'm super excited. This has been a year-long process with the office, and one of the reasons why it took so long is that I didn't know what I wanted to do with the lobby. I had a couple of ideas. I wanted to maybe put some art up and sell the art, and it just came to me one day, and I was like, wait a minute, why don't I put a bunch of women's sports memorabilia up, and people can come and look at it, and I can also raise money for girls' sports. It kind of ties everything that I'm involved in together and all the things that I want to do and the vision that I have. It felt right finally, but it took me 6 months, and I didn't want to do anything with that space without knowing 100% sure what I wanted to do. And one day it just came to me, and literally within the month I had decided to just buy all this sports memorabilia, and I'm just super excited for everyone to see the things that I've been working on because it has been a long process, but it's all good. I'm really excited. So please come join us on April 6th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at 318 Market Street in Spencer, West Virginia. Come watch the championship with us. See if you won the bracket or not. And it's just going to be an exciting time. It's just super fun for me to finally be able to do this. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about is the future of this podcast and just the movement in general. So with the podcast, I'm going to be moving towards doing some more solo episodes similar to this one where I kind of talk about what's going on in the business and updates and any announcements that I have. And I want to just be able to share more about my business. She Plants a Vineyard is more than a podcast. I want to be able to share my successes and my failures. I want to be able to be more authentic and reachable, and I feel like I haven't really been able to be reachable. The interviews are amazing, and you get to hear different stories from all these amazing women. The whole point of the podcast was to be able to showcase those stories, but I felt like that my story or just the things I was involved in, I wasn't really able to share those things with you guys, and I want to be able to be reachable to my audience because I want to be able to provide value to you guys, and I want you guys to know what's going on and in my own life so you guys can see the progress that I'm making. And it's just would be good. It's just a good thing just to be able to share my information and the knowledge that I have to kind of move to more solo episodes. as well as continuing the interviews. I have, 3 or 4 women that have already shown interest that I have basically lined up to do podcast episodes with me, but it's just about getting them scheduled. And it also, with doing the solo episodes, it allows me to be a little bit more consistent with the podcast, because trying to schedule in a full-time mom, a full-time business owner, an entrepreneur, and trying to schedule them in and get those episodes edited and, done on time, it kind of creates a barrier for consistency. So doing the solo episodes, I can do a 5-minute episode or a 10-minute episode or a 20-minute episode by myself, and I'm not, trying to schedule someone in that has a super tight schedule and can only be here for maybe an hour. And that can be a little bit more flexible as well. I'm not so pushed to do those interviews, every single week or every other week and trying to get them out. So it's just going to allow me to be more valuable to my audience, share with you guys what I'm up to, and be more consistent, which I think are all really great things. And just reflecting on last season, I've kind of thought about this a little bit, and it's like I started in my apartment, and I had this idea that I wanted to do this podcast, and it's something that was triggered from like 8 years ago. I always had this vision to help women in West Virginia start businesses, or help them see that they're, you don't have to do an MLM, you don't have to do those types of business endeavors. Like, you could start your own business. And doing this podcast for me was like the first step to build that community and build trust within the community. And I think it's done that. And I think me just saying that, hey, I want to be more involved in the community, I'm trying to do this, I have an idea, it really helped kind of create some business contacts for me that also had those same ideas and dreams and visions as I had. And I've met some amazing women that share that vision with me. So it's been really good. And, I started like interviewing my friends and some business contacts I had. And now I'm, the next few guests that are going to be on are going to be really just, I think, really helpful, not only to people in general, but very close to the community here. And that was like, I'm really excited about that, because I do want to be more involved in the community in West Virginia. And it's taken me a little bit of time to do that, because I am introverted. So it's like small steps to kind of get me to meet people. But I've really been pushing myself this year, and I'm excited. And when I moved into this office and I started doing episodes here, there was like tape on the wall, and it was unpainted, and it did not look very professional at all. It looked kind of, it didn't look the best. And, but now, look, the studio's done. It looks, I think, in my opinion, I think it looks great, and I'm really excited for everyone to see the rest of the office. But also, I do have one last episode from last season that I never posted, because I personally didn't really like how it came out. My video, or my portion of the video, like the camera that was on me, didn't look great. And not because of I didn't like how I looked, it was more of the color and the quality didn't match the color and the quality of the guest. And the guest camera, I always use my better camera, which is the Sony a7 III, but I was using an older camera because I had to pack 2 cameras, and the other camera that I normally would have used is a big camera. It's kind of hard to travel with, especially when you're going on a plane. And so I kind of had to use this other camera, which I should have just rented another one. But I still want to post that episode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it From the Vault episode. I'm going to steal something from Taylor Swift. Hopefully that's not copyrighted. But I think I'm just going to post it in black and white and just call it bonus episode or From the Vault episode or something, because I still think it was a really good conversation. But another thing just with traveling and trying to interview with people is I can't bring my light, so the lighting wasn't good on my end, on my camera. Like I said, the Sony a7 III, it has super amazing low light capability. So you can be in decent low light and it's still going to look pretty good quality. So I'm still going to post it though, so be on the lookout for that episode. Like I said, it's not going to look the best, it may not sound the best, but I think it's still a conversation worth hearing and worth posting, and this is all about improvement, and I think it will be good for people to see how much I have improved and what this new season is going to look like. And I didn't want to put it on this new season because I want this new season to be perfect. And I know it's not going to be, but I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want any audio to sound bad. I want all of the camera quality to just be on par with what I expect out of myself. And hopefully I can do that. Hopefully I can do that for you guys, because I want you guys to be able to enjoy these episodes and not have to worry about, oh, I can't hear the sound, or there's background noise, or whatever it is. So, yeah. Moving on. I'm just going to share some updates on the business and what's been going on. So, in February, well, it was like end of January, beginning of February, I took a trip to Mexico with some amazing women. There was 27 women on this trip. I believe it was 27 women. I may have got that number wrong. Some people came after the rest of us got there, so there may have been a slightly more than 27 women or slightly less than 27 women, but I think it was around that number. And this trip was absolutely incredible. It was life-changing, and not like the week that I was there was life-changing, but I think being able to meet these women and being able to build relationships with these women is what was life-changing, because it allowed me to be more involved in the community, because a lot of these women were from Ripley or from Ravenswood or from Charleston, from places that I obviously grew up around, but I moved away and then I came back, and so I kind of lost the ability to build longevity within relationships or friendships, and that gave me just such a good opportunity to introduce myself again and to kind of build on what I'm trying to do at the Affinity Films. And I think it just really represented also what I'm trying to achieve with the podcast, with She Plants a Vineyard, which is kind of becoming more than just a podcast, right? And Jen, the host of the trip, is just someone I look up to, and she brings women together. And she is just, for me, has been such a powerful connection to have since I've moved here. And I have to thank Lindsay for introducing us, because, and I had Lindsay on the podcast, and that's why I had her on, because she is so good at connecting people, and she's involved in the community. And Jen is just the type of person that's motivational, and I can't wait to have her on the podcast, because her energy is so good, and she's just so encouraging, and she thinks everything everyone does is amazing, and just a positive person. And I love being around people that are just super positive. And the fact that she can bring that many women together, it's a little crazy. She's just another breed. So lobby is almost complete. We have to finish hanging everything, and then that's the last little thing we have to do is just hang the rest. We finished the painting a week ago, and that's been really amazing. And I actually got a phone call, interesting enough, when I ordered all this stuff. I ordered it from Fanatics, because their certification process, I think, is a little bit more, for me, it felt a little bit more reliable and a little bit more legit, and I really, people just trust Fanatics. So, and you get a little card that has a certificate of, the autograph or whatever. So, and they had some stuff on sale too. So I was able to get a couple of jerseys that I wouldn't, that are $80 for $30. I think I paid for a couple of them that were $30. But interesting enough, I got a phone call from Fanatics, and they were like, hey, we want to know why you just bought all this WNBA stuff. What's going on here? They left me a voicemail, and they gave me, the guy that called gave me his direct number. So I'm hoping to build some kind of relationship with Fanatics, and that way I'd be able to get more stuff. There's also some college stuff, college memorabilia that I would like to get, and they don't have it available on their website, or at least not on the direct website. And so I'm hoping by building that relationship, maybe I can get some specific things that I'm looking for, and not just this basic stuff. Like, I'd love to get like some more West Virginia college stuff. And so hopefully with that, I'm going to call them back today and try to just start building a relationship with them and see where it goes. I mean, it might not go anywhere, but I think that would be really cool just to have a contact for this memorabilia I'm trying to buy and not have to like go through eBay or go through another website. I could just work with someone directly and say, hey, I want this basketball. I want this person's autograph on it. I need this case. Like, can you help me out? And then they can just like send me it. And I think it will be really cool if I'm able to just build that relationship with them. So now I want to move on to like what my goals are for the business moving forward now that everything's set up and I'm going to have the open house. And I think one thing that I kind of want to talk about within this is how small steps bring dreams to reality. I shared this on my story, and it's kind of like a cheesy or cliche thing to say, but for me, it has really felt like super, super slow progress. I mean, I've been in this office for a year, and I felt like, at least for 3 or 4 months, like I wasn't getting anywhere. Like, I was making little progress with the studio, but it felt like I was like, okay, like I need to get this done. I need to get this done. And I finally get it done. And then I just have this realization, like, man, every small thing that I did this past year has brought me to what I'm doing. And I knew that it was like a bigger vision. I knew that it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to move into this office. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and put a couple chairs in here and I'm going to open it. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be that, but it did feel like, it just felt like everything was just taking a long time. Sometimes when you have these like little small steps, right, it's like this. It's like your little small steps, and then you go from here, and then you're like this. And I really feel like I just felt it, that it feels like this, and it's going to be an uptick. It's just going to go, phew, and not in terms of financial, but and it probably will do that as well, but it's more like the vision that I've had for it, right? Like, I want to make a nonprofit. Like, I'm this close to being able to do the nonprofit and to start raising money for girls sports and start raising money for women-owned businesses and start doing the things that I've like been dreaming about for like the last 7 years. Like, since I started the Affinity Films, it has always been my goal to help other women with their businesses. And the girls sports has it was like probably the last 2 to 3 years where I've really started to focus on that. But I'm really excited to be able to raise money, hopefully, for girls sports, and I want to be able to do that locally. I'm not limited to only local sports, but I think it would be really cool to be able to, like I have said several times in this video already, just community, being able to be a part of the community and being able to help the West Virginia community. It means so much to me if I'm able to do that, and if I'm able to make a positive impact on women and girls in sports. I really think that obviously the financial portion of women in sports and girls in sports hasn't been there. They struggle to create financial benefit, right? And so if I can help that move forward, then like it's such a goal and dream of mine. And I'm very, very close to being able to actually put that into practice. All the things that I've been saying and all the things that I've been dreaming about, I'm so close to being able to finally put that into practice. And, another portion of that, not just with the sports stuff, but it's another part of that is to build a community of women that can come together and be able to learn from each other, share ideas and promote their business. And interchange our ideas and our visions and our dreams, and also be a resource for women business owners. Because if there's 6 business owners, we all have had different lessons. We might have a financial advisor that's a part of this group, or we might have a marketing person, and I'm obviously in marketing, but I'm not competing with anyone. Like, if someone else has an idea in terms of marketing, like, I want them to be able to share it with me so I can learn, and I want to be able to share my ideas with other people. It's about kind of taking down the barriers of gatekeeping and not creating a situation where we're competing with each other so much, but that we're encouraging each other and we're sharing our ideas with each other and we're buying from each other, right? That we're spending money on the businesses that our friends are making. Like, why would I order from Amazon if I could get a light from Amazon, or if I can get a light from my friend, a camera light, then why would I buy it from Amazon? I want to buy it from my friend, right? So it's a opportunity for also business owners just to come together, and that's the kind of community that I'm hoping to build with She Plants a Vineyard. I don't want it to just necessarily be a podcast, but to be a movement, to be a community. And I'm slowly being able to do that, and I'm very close, and I'm very excited. Another goal for the Affinity Films is to get more local clients. So if you're in Ripley, if you're in Jackson County, if you're in Roane County, if you are in Kanawha County, please just contact me if you're in the market for advertising, video editing, podcasting, videography. I produce this podcast completely on my own with my own knowledge. Like, I'm not using anybody to do anything for the marketing. I do all the marketing, all the videoing, all the editing, all the producing myself. So I have a lot of experience in terms of Facebook advertising and even like a little bit of, I wouldn't really say graphic design, but making like Facebook posts, like Facebook graphic posts. So basically anything marketing or advertising or videography, like, I'm your person, hit me up. The last goal of the Affinity Films is to get my drone license. I've kind of been in the process of studying on and off. I've had a lot going on, but I'm excited to be able to get my drone license. I think it will just add, I don't want to be limited. And so whenever you own a business, you cannot, it's literally a felony to fly a drone if you're using it for any type of business purpose without a license. So I'm kind of limited in what I can do. And for what I'm doing, yeah, I don't really need the license because I'm not like flying near an airport. I'm not flying, around government buildings. But if, the state or the city of Ripley or, another city wanted me to do work for them and I really wanted to use a drone, right now I wouldn't be able to. So just getting the drone license is going to help take down some barriers for me. I just don't like to be limited in my ability to say yes to something. And right now, I kind of am. So I have kind of this extra announcement, but it's not set in stone yet. But just be on the lookout for it. I am going to be creating a second podcast. It's going to be completely sports related. There's going to be a co-host, so it's not just going to be me talking about sports. Like, it's going to have a kind of an interesting format, and I don't want to share too much because I'm not 100% sure that it's going to happen. But I have a co-host in mind. It's going to be sports related, and it's a kind of a chance to showcase the Affinity Films as a true media company, not just like videography or advertising. Right? I'm going to have two podcasts under the same company. And kind of the goal here is to be like Unwell Productions or Barstool Sports, right? Where they have like all these podcasts underneath them. If you look at like Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper, she has like 3 or 4 podcasts now under Unwell Productions. And her business model is really, really smart. And it's kind of what I'm hoping to do with the Affinity Films. Obviously, I still am going to be offering advertising and video editing and all the other stuff that I do, but this is also a chance for me to like showcase what my skills actually are. And people can go to my Instagram page and see the stuff I'm editing and putting out and go, oh, okay, like this is what she's about, like this is what she does. And so I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully it happens. Like I'm really hoping that it comes to fruition, because I think it would be really cool just to have, a second podcast under this and be able to showcase that. But the last thing I want to talk about is asking questions. So if you guys have a question about me or my personal journey, or if it's Facebook advertising, it's video editing, if it's social media, if it's about creating your business or small business questions or whatever you have, or, if your question is like, what's the biggest failure you've had or what's the biggest success you've had, like, I want to be able to answer your questions and provide value to you guys. So if you guys have any questions for me at all, you could ask me what my favorite color is. I don't care. Leave it in the comments below. I'm super excited for this new format. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and it was like really just me yapping about myself and my business, but hopefully it gave you guys some insight on what's to come, and I will see you guys later. Bye.